right. Let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Side on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, and the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Salakia, Pagabo, if you could you lift it up, his camera, just. Yeah, that's the water right there. The water.
No sweat.
We're not affiliated with any other Christian group or Hebrew Israelite group on the face of the planet. One West is home of the truth. The truth lies only with One West, nowhere else. If you don't believe that, you can you can read the scriptures, right? Because the scriptures always says is one body, one mind. You know what I'm saying? The left hand doesn't do what it wants to do. If it's not a conjunction with the right hand. It also says if the left hand offends you, pluck it out, cut it off. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of a lot of other bodies, body parts that are out there that go against what the Most High says. Everybody in here, and people, I've heard a lot of people say about the about us, how we're brainwashed. Everybody says the same thing. Whatever it comes down to, they always say say the same thing, and they think that's an insult when actually that's biblical. It's one body. You know what I'm saying? Everything within that body operates to do this to bring about the functionality of the body. And if something goes wrong, if something's doing something opposite or contrary to what that body is, you go and see a doctor and get it fixed, get it corrected. You know what I'm saying? You get it checked out, and it either gets in line or it gets amputated. Now, I just told you what's in the Bible, and I just told you what actually happens in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the Bible's not. I tell you what happens in the Bible, and I tell you what actually happens in our everyday lives. It's not unheard of that people actually get body parts amputated. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not functioning properly, or it's not functioning the way it was originally made to be functioned, right? So. Most High in Christ. If you could, Slacky, you had something.
Yeah, so there's two quick things. You were saying there are a lot of other body parts. I would like to just say they're doppelgangers. They're not the real original body. They're fake body. They're body-ish.
Yeah.
and the second part, the second thing, I'll get back to that. I forgot.
No sweat. What we're going to get into tonight is something I've seen come across my timeline. So, like, 1 second. I seen come across my timeline. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was just the way, and this happened probably a few weeks ago. It was about some law that that has been passed, and from what this Edomite is saying, it's been passed in like the middle of the night, some screwy under the table type of law that has been passed. And he made it sound like because it's been passed, man, there's a whole lot of people going to be in it's going to suffer from this law that's been passed, when in reality, really only ones that suffer is blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And this law that's been passed, I want to say it's in Illinois. It's in Illinois. It's not specifically a certain city, but it was boasted out to be in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So this was a state law, and it affected, you know, majority Chicago and the surrounding areas. They had other states like New York that passed similar laws, but it wasn't to the extent of this law that was passed in Illinois, and it was called the pretrial. Is it the pre? I want to say it's the pretrial law. Basically, it outlaws bail. You know what I'm saying? And when I say outlaws bail, we're gonna actually get into it here in a second. I just want to try and get that that audio from this devil, from how the way he was talking about this this law. If you could look up the forget the dude's name, but he's the mayor of Orland Park, Illinois. Orland, Orland, Orland Park, Illinois.
Orland.
Yeah. And he was talking about how, you know, how is it? It's a this law is a not a corruption, but it goes against, you know, the Constitution, people's constitutional rights. And when he says it goes against people's constitutional rights, he's talking about people that look like him. He was saying it's infringing on constitutional rights. He has no want or care about, you know, you or me. It's all about how they can oppress us so that they can infringe on our constitutional rights so that they can feel safe. You know what I'm saying? I saw another video. I mean, we all seen videos like this one time or another. I've seen this video of this Edomite had a cat that's about the size of this mug, was about this big. It was a wild cat. You know what I'm saying? It was a huge cat. Cats, you know, is handheld. You know, weighs about 3 pounds. This mug, I seen him feeding it, held out a drumstick. Most High in Christ held out a drumstick, and this cat, you know, just came by, opened the goddamn door by itself, and it stood about, you know, 3 feet high. It's about as high as a medium-sized dog. And went and grabbed the damn drumstick, growled because the dude wouldn't give up the drumstick, growled, and when he let it go, then, you know, he walked away. But that cat was huge. I'm not saying it to say, but when he was messing with the cat, you know what I'm saying, the cat, you know, was growling at him, and when he was growling at him, he went over there and just, you know, the cat I'm talking about, the cat went over there and smacked him a few times. Yeah, it did like that. I'm like, are you serious? This cat is huge. So another video, fast forward, I saw another video explaining if you are ever in deep waters, and you see a shark coming up on you, don't flutter and kick, you know, frantically, because the shark will think that you're prey, because that's what prey does when it's hurt, and the shark will go after it. Now when they're saying this, it's showing a shark coming up to this woman, this Edomite woman, and she's swimming, and she like turns around and sees it, and then she goes on to say, if it's a certain type of shark, what you should do is just gently. Oh no, so let me rewind it. It says if a shark comes up on you, don't panic, don't kick away, turn around and look at it. Turn around and look at it in his eyes, and usually it'll go away. And then she said, if it's a certain type of shark, what you can do is just put your hand on their head and then just gently push them away. That's what they say. But these niggas are scared of us walking down the street. You mean to tell me you're in a shark environment where he's at as an advantage that can tear your hind parts up, you know, quick, fast, and in a hurry, but you're going to stare it down and then gently push it away? But you scared of Trayvon Martin, a teenager. You know what I'm saying? That was minding his business, and you had to follow him and assassinate him. You scared of Alton Sterling, who's in a car with his family, his wife and his child. And you tell her, you give him some instruction, and he obeys your command, and you're so scared you kill him. You are scared of a black man who's telling you, I'm tired of this stuff. Y'all ain't gonna treat me like this. All I'm doing is selling loose cigarettes. So now you want to go ahead and murder him on the streets of New York. But you ain't scared of that great white shark or that hammerhead shark. You staring at it in his eyeballs, and then you just gently push it away. Isn't that all what they say about us? They fear for their life, so they got to kill it.
Right.
They got to kill us, but they don't kill these wild animals. They don't do none of that stuff. Where's the fear for their lives when you can't reason with a wild animal? You can't say, hold up, I got a family. Don't do this. Please don't do this. You know what I'm saying? They can't reason with that. But somehow we're so unreasonable when all we want to do is get home to our family. In certain cases, we're already home. Right. You know what I'm saying? They come into our place. Breonna Taylor. They come into our place. What's up? Botham John. We're trying to get back to our place. Ahmaud Arbery. How about that? Y'all ain't fearing for your lives. And you know why? And you know why they ain't fearing for their lives? Because they put wicked leaders in our paths so that if anything like that happens, we'll go to our wicked leaders and then cry out no justice, no peace for a few weeks, maybe even a few months. And then some backdoor dealings happens with these wicked leaders. And then they come back and tell us, all right, well, this is what we're going to do. And they make up some arbitrary law that has no teeth. When I say no teeth, it has no one is going to be held accountable for whatever actions that they do. And they're going to continue doing the things that they do. And all the wicked leaders tells us is that this is a step in the right direction. Well, if I have to walk 10 miles, let's just say the destination, this is a step in the right direction, right? You got to walk 10 miles. One step ain't squat. You know what I'm saying? And in order for me to get to where I need to get to, and it's a long destination, how many steps have we taken since slavery, since Reconstruction, since Jim Crow, since the Civil Rights era? How many steps have we taken? How many times have we said we've taken a step and then we've taken 3 steps back, 2 steps back? So this one step ain't squat. You had something?
Yeah, Slocky, sir. It was. I thought of something funny, but you're on serious time. But
go ahead. What you had?
But when you said, gently push the shark away, first thing that came to my head was, the debate that Captain Tazarian had. He was talking about Darabah, the light strike in the Quran. That does it, sir. It's lucky.
So I'm just trying to get this. If you can find me the video when he's talking about. Oh, here I got it. It's the SAFE-T Act, and he's opposing. He's opposing it. Hold on one second. I'm gonna get it up for you real quick.
Oh yeah, Salaki, sir. That man is running for Congress too.
He's running for Congress, so he wants more power. He wants more power to do the things that he does to oppress Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We're going to get to that in a minute. If you could, Pagabua, do you have the class up? Hold on one second. It's like, bear with me. I'm just trying to get all this in order. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. No sweat. We're gonna rock out with what we got. You got it? Okay, Most High in Christ. All right. We're gonna rock out with what we got. If you could get me, let's start out with Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12 and 10. Because I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is right. Orland Park is a predominantly white area, county, city. It's one of the suburbs of Chicago. And I do know there's affluent, Negroes and Latinos that are in this area. As of late, there has been an influx of Latinos coming into the Chicago and its surrounding areas. I do know that it's just when a people has been destroyed so utterly and so completely, like we have been, so systematically, we are subject to a whole lot of propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Even though we've been destroyed, our oppressor has us believe that it's our fault. You know what I'm saying? Has us to believe that we are in this position because we've done this. You know what I'm saying? They tell us that we're hooked on cocaine and we're hooked on crack and we're hooked on heroin and we're hooked on opioids because we did it. Name a nigga that owns a poppy field. How many Latinos own cocaine factories and whatnot? We don't. How many Native Americans own gun machine building factories? None. Okay, I can't say none. What I can say is I've never heard of it. Chances are probably aren't any. Probably not. So how in the world, even though that our communities are flooded with illegal drugs as well as legal drugs, it's flooded with that stuff. It's flooded with violence due to due to a whole lot of factors. But the primary weapon of choice is guns. You know what I'm saying? All of our communities are like that, but we don't own any. We may own a liquor store. We may that's not unheard of. But how many people are actually out there refining alcohol, aging whiskey? You know what I'm saying? Aging vodka and whatnot. How many of us is out there making wine? How many of us is out there actually buying the iron and melting the iron, or making these carbon fiber, guns, pistols, and AK and rifles? How many of us are actually doing that? So how in the world did our oppressor lead us to believe that we are the ones that fall for it, when they're the ones who actually funnel, you know what I'm saying? You take a funnel, just by that term, funnel. Take something and you force a whole lot of it down, and it goes into a very specific area so it doesn't go out anyplace else. And then they put boundaries with with gang members called police to keep all that crap inside this area. But they flooded it so much for so long that it's just bound to get out. It's just bound to get out. All the crap, the cesspool that they force fed us for decades is bound to get out. And it has gotten out. It has gotten loose. Now you got people in these affluent areas that have the same problems that they forced within our community for centuries, even. Because you think about the Native Americans, I mean, they've been over here oppressing the Native Americans first. They did it. They did that to our brothers and sisters first. The so-called Latinos first, and refine the system so that the world can see how good they do it. And the other world has been doing it to other people around the world. But it's been refined on us, force feeding us cesspools to whereas they can kill us more efficiently. One of the boundaries that they have around our neighborhoods is a Christian church. The puppet politicians that they put up so they would give us, a rec center, maybe. They give us a rec center or something along those lines. They give us a huge property for a church, a Christian church. Because, black people love their God. When in actuality, if I could. If I could. No. If I could. Grab me that. Baba Kashaw. The water. We love our God, but in actuality, this has been our God since we came over here in chains. They've been force feeding this devil, this bastard to us for centuries. And it's only been recently, since we've been waking up, we've been realizing that this is not our God. Our God does not kick in our door, rape our woman, and then string up the man of the house. Because he does that. The people who do it in the name of this bastard. You know what I'm saying? Did you have something?
Yeah, slog it, sir.
Throw this crap down.
That's right. I remember what I wanted to say earlier, because of the one word that you said just a few seconds ago, the propaganda. Mm-hmm. It brought me back to the word brainwash that you used earlier. Like the I.S.U.P.K is actually brainwashed from all the propaganda that America has forced on our people.
You damn right. Our people needs their brainwashed.
Well, everybody else has brain filth and germ and disease on it. Like we have the cure for the disease of all that propaganda, and that's the Bible.
Exactly. This right here is the cure for every disease that we have since we picked up, since we got here in this thinking kingdom. All the diseases, the STDs, the addictions, all the bad habits, all the idol worshiping, all of that has made us unclean to the Most High. That's why he says we are separate and holy to him, unto himself. Everything that we do that's according to this kingdom has made us unclean, has made us dirty, has made us an abomination unto the Most High. In order for us to be clean, in order for us to get right with the Most High, we have to first wash our brain, get that filth up out of us. And what exactly is filth? Going to church. Going to church. Here's a big one that most of our people don't know is voting for anybody that is not Christ. And you know what? I'll take it a step even further. Every time we've chosen a leader, every time throughout history when we've chosen a leader, it was our destruction. Every time a leader was chosen for us by the Most High, we have I ain't even gonna say survived. We have thrived. You know what I'm saying? We chose Saul. the Most High gave us David. You know what I'm saying? We chose Bill Clinton. The Most High gave us Commandant General Yahanna.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Times past, we've chosen the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Most High gave us Christ.
That's right.
Every time we choose these wicked leaders, the Most High gives us something. We chose, here's something. We chose Martin Luther King. The Most High gave us Abba Bivens and the seven heads. Every time we choose something, and Martin Luther King. I was going to say something, one of the Akim says, but I can't say it here on YouTube. I was going to say, but you got something?
Yeah, Slogan, sir. That's real heavy. Just thinking about it. Martin Luther King, our business at that time, like we were before that segregation, and our people, we were, even though we were oppressed, we were still closer as family before this whole integration thing. So since Martin Luther King came up and he got our people mixed in with those people, the Most High gave us our Bivens for this to come out, because the Most High knew that us joining them was going to be hell on us.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. We chose Martin Luther King, and he led us into a burning house. He said it himself. Those were his words. You know what we should remember about Martin Luther King? Those words. Whenever we hear Martin Luther King, we should automatically think of led us into a burning house. We shouldn't think of I had a dream. That shouldn't be our remembrance of him. We should remember him saying, man, he destroyed us.
Right.
That's when your brain is clean. Just like the brother brought out. Before that, we were closer. You think we were you think they were baby mamas? Wow. You think they were baby daddies in that time? Nah. You know what it was? That was your father that didn't really come around all that much because he had another family on the other side of town, and because he didn't know no better, he had to keep even. And this is so crazy. So this man has two families, one on each side of the town. Officially, he has family A. Unofficially, he has family B. But society says they have to be separated. They can't be brought together. But somehow everybody in town knows about, including the two families. They know about each other. That didn't break up the household. That didn't break up the kid, but the kids had access to that father. Maybe family A had more access to him than family B, but they still had access to him. Now, I saw a story about this brother. I want to say it was a brother. I'll take that back. I saw a story about this man. Could not be. His woman apparently started getting some money. Her career started going up. She looked at, allegedly, she looked at her husband that she had 3 kids with was not on her level. So she went out and got some other nigga on her level. He found out about it, went bat crazy, and killed their kids, their 3 kids, and then killed himself. That's part of the burning house that Martin Luther King led us to. That's part why, because if we're so integrated with the people who wants to destroy us, then we think like them. And what they think like, part of what they think of is that marriage is not an oath that is only way that it can be absolved is through death. Someone has to die if that marriage falls apart. Someone has to die. And in this case, I mean, when they walked down the aisle, they said till death do us part. And in this case, her stepping out, and this is something we all got to understand. The wages of sin is death. That's according to Romans 6:23. The wages of sin is death. Right? Having I ain't even gonna say an affair. Adultery is death. Now, what does that mean? Most High is so gangster. You got something?
Just a process, sir.
What's that?
The process of the punishments of adultery.
Yeah.
Yeah. If a person is caught being an adulteress or adulterer, they are brought before the nation. They have to have the witnesses. The witnesses say this person did this person did that, and then the prophets execute the punishment. Not the people, but the prophets do. Whatever punishment that is that causes the death. So it's not like the husband will kill the wife if he caught her being an adulteress. He would put it out there in front of the nation. She would get judged, and then the prophets will execute that judgment.
In certain instances, that's right. In certain instances, that's right. When I say certain instances, certain punishments, that's right. But I cannot 100% say that that in the case of adultery that is right. Reason, well, okay. And the reason why I'm leaning on that is because just the punishment for adultery is to be stoned. Is to be stoned. And what is stoning? When people take a bunch of stones and hit you until you die.
That's right.
Right? That's hardcore. That's hardcore. Precept about that is when they caught a woman in the act of adultery and they brought her to Christ. What did Christ say?
He who is without sin cast the first stone.
So who was there in that crowd?
Sinners.
Okay, so in particular, who was in that crowd?
Oh, the witnesses to the adultery.
So all of them witnessed it, or was it just the required amount to that seen the crime, the sin?
I never thought about that. I do not know, sir.
So okay, let me rephrase that. Was it just the prophets that was there, or was it the whole town?
I would say the whole town, sir.
Okay, so Christ said he is without sin, cast the first stone. So was he saying just the prophets who was without sin cast the first stone, or was he talking to everybody?
No, see, Salaga, because the prophets wouldn't be sinners. Prophets would not be sinners. So the
prophets shouldn't be sinners.
Yeah,
just like the sheep herder, just like the shepherd, just like the blacksmith, just like the farmer shouldn't be sinners. So it like I said, I wouldn't say in this case, because there are punishments where it will only take one person to execute the judgment. You know what I'm saying? It will only take one person to light a match, to set the pyre on fire, to kill witches. Why? Because that is a punishment of being a witch. You burned at the stake. God damn, man. And the reason why these punishments, these judgments are so, and then it was not meant to be, it's not meant to be kept hidden away. Like in this nation, in this country, in this kingdom, people who are executed for whatever reason, when they're executed, it's a handful of people that they're there to witness the execution, and they're specifically handpicked for whatever reason. Their criteria is supposed to be a criteria that's supposed to be met for those people to actually witness the execution. For us, that has to be done out in the open. And the reason why for us it has to be done out in the open is the same reason why. I ain't gonna say it's the same reason. It is the reason why they only keep a handful of people there to witness the death. Because witnessing someone dying does something to you. It does something to you mentally. Like you see somebody breathing and vibrant and well, and according to U.S. law, you cannot execute a sick or an unhealthy person. So if someone has terminal disease, they have to let them die of that disease, or they have to get them treatment in order to get them better. Now, if they get better, now they can execute them.
That's cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And so they have an affliction. They have an affliction that tells them that says if you don't treat this in a certain way, they could die. By law, that says they have to treat that affliction so they can get them well, even if they're on death row and they're about to be executed. They have to treat them, get them well, and then execute them. Right? So back to the point of what I was saying. If you see somebody witness somebody who's vibrant and well, and then 1 minute, and then the very next minute they're dead, it does something to you psychologically. And the Most High wants us for us to see that, so that we look at that thing and like, God damn, that big ass rock hit him upside his head, knocked half his eye loose, and he's still alive. He's not really coherent, but he's still alive. And then more rocks is coming off, and he's still moving, and he's still breathing. Or she's still moving, and she's still breathing. God damn. And it took us 10 minutes of throwing rocks for them to stop to be dead. The Most High wanted us to see that so that we can look at that, be like, and then when we see some badass woman walking down the street with her tail out, even if it's not tail out, some badass woman, because you know Israel, doesn't matter what what we have, it's going to show forth. You know what I'm saying? You know that saying, you can see that tail from the front. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter what you got on, you can still see the motion in the ocean. You can still see that jiggle. You can still see she working with something. And you look at that, and you know, in these times, we have what the wedding ring, right? So that's like a dead giveaway. Whether women wear it just to keep men off them or not, it doesn't matter. You see that symbol, whatever it is, because you know if a woman's taken or not. You see that and you be like, damn, I want that. I really want that. You don't see how the way, man, she if I have a woman like that in my life, I can go so much further. Let me just go over there and try and holler. And then, you know, as you walking over there, you like, hold up. But Jackson over here, this brother it took us 20 minutes. And I was part of that crew that was throwing the rocks. It took us 20 minutes to execute him for the same thing I'm about to walk up to this sister to do. You know what? I'm good. I'm going to turn away and I'm going to flee from evil. That's the point of it actually being done in front of us, in front of our eyes. That's the whole point. But our oppressor, man, has us all discombobulated and making us think one way is the right way, when it's really it's we in that burning house, and we got nothing but people like including Martin Luther King. We got Jesse Jackson's. We got some of these. We got in DC, Muriel Bowser. Even the brother who's trying to run for mayor. I forget the brother's name, but anybody who's aspiring to be some sort of authority in this kingdom, has the mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? All they're doing is leading more and more of us into the burning house. Leading more and more of us into the burning house. And it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're an independent, whether you're a Tea Party. It doesn't matter what party you affiliate yourself with. They're all leading us into a burning house. This house might be, real big and it has a lot of grand stuff. This house might be a little homey, a little cozy. This house might be right by the water. It really doesn't matter, because all of them are burning and all of them lead to death. Only way that we can get out of this situation is if we follow the man that the Most High put in charge. And right now it's Commanding General Yahanna.
That's right.
He has been put in charge. He didn't go for this for this position and vote who wants to be on my side. Nah, the Most High said, Commander General Yahanna, you are going to be the leader of this nation until Christ comes back. Lord allow.
Right.
And you know what? All the men, all the women that are up under him are following him because the Most High put him in charge. Anybody else we put in charge, we run the risk of walking into this burning house. I'm going to use that all class long. We're going to run the risk of walking happy, and some of us walk happily into a burning house. And then what's even worse, there's other people out there who know the house is burning. They know that they know the house is burning, but they want to get in out of the rain. You ever heard of people saying, well, I got to choose the lesser of two evils? That's just like I said, going into a burning house because it's raining outside. Nigga, stay in the rain. Stay in the rain. You're going to live. You're going to get a little wet, but you are going to live. You had something?
Yeah, sir, you just said a phrase that brought me back a few years. Choose the lesser of two evils. I had an argument with a brother a few years ago, and what I said to him, it was voting. It was about voting.
Right.
So I was like, all right, so what would you choose? AIDS or herpes?
I would choose life.
Then he understood what I was talking about.
I would choose life. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's say that. Because I remember Cap Mashak brought this out of camp one time, but he didn't bring it out. But we're gonna stick to your analogy. It was like if you had an option, go of lying with this sister, but she has AIDS, or lying with this sister, but she has herpes. Which one would you choose? A lot of brothers would give a choice. They would say, "Well, I'll wrap it up." Or it's not 100% chance that I can get, this disease or that disease. So I would take precautions. Or how about not doing it at all? Exactly. How about that? How about removing yourself from that situation altogether? I remember what Cap was saying is this. He brought this out at camp. And this brother was coming up against us, and it was talking about someone forcing themselves on a woman. I'm not going to say the word because YouTube likes to block people for stuff like that. So what there was the brother that came up and he said, this was a certain scenario. And he said, someone broke. So what if someone breaks into the house and they say, well, I'm going to force myself on your wife, or I'm gonna force myself onto you. And Cap was like, okay, let's take that there. What would you do? What would you choose? And then he was in a world he didn't know no better. He didn't know no better. I'll give him that. He did not know any better. He says, well, you're just gonna have to take my wife. He's like, you're just gonna have to take my wife. And Cap was like, well, how about nobody gets forced on? How about that? How about we would rather die before you do anything like that? How about removing yourself from the whole situation altogether? But we don't think like that. We have to wash our brains in order for that scenario to come into play. Nah, we going to die, or you going to die. Someone's dying if that's the situation. No. And as the husband, this is where your job comes into play. This is where your job comes into play. No. Someone got to go. Someone got to go. And I'm keeping my rib. So repent, turn away from this sin, because that is a death penalty offense too. You're trying to do something like that. Hey. I'm just saying. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. You got something?
Sorry, sir. Just think about that. Would it be a death penalty, a death sentence for a husband that does not protect his wife? Like a punk husband, and he just allows his wife to get violated, even murdered.
You talking about in Christ's kingdom?
Concert.
He's going to have to take account for that. He's going to have to be accountable for that, because she is called by his name. She is called by his name. He's going to be held accountable for that. The men in charge is going to come to him and say, what happened? They're going to investigate the matter. What did you do? What could you have done? Why didn't you do that? Okay, this is the judgment, and it's final. Boom. Now, as far as in this kingdom, in captivity, what will be the punishment of a person who allows someone who's called by his name, whether it's his wife, or his rib, or his children, allows them to get violated? The Most High has ample ways to get justice for those victims. The Most High is going to take care of it, one way or another. Just like I said with that sister who stepped out on her marriage. Now, I don't even want to say stepped out, because that seems like a minor event. I want to say with that sister who committed adultery, who broke her oath. This is damn near nothing worse than an oath breaker. It's damn near nothing worse than an oath breaker. Whether it's an oath is an oath, and it should be held with your life. And our custom is, if someone comes to visit us, if you come to my house, you are now under my protection. If something happens, or I live in a crazy neighborhood, and the GD's on the block, they trying to get in. They let the GD in the door, right? And they trying to get through the door, and I'm not even sure what colors they wear, but you're wearing the opposite colors of their their group, and they want to come holler at you. And when I say holler at you, they want to do you harm. It is my job. I have to protect you with my life. That is our custom. Right. And if I don't do that, and they come to the door and be like, hey, they let the GDs in the door, and I let you in, and they let you they carry you out. In this kingdom, in captivity, the Most High is going to deal with me in a way that it would have been better if I had died protecting you. Because the punishment that the Most High is going to give me, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse. Just like I was saying, the wages of sin is death. In that case, with that sister who broke her oath, she committed a sin. Death was required. In this case, the Most High allowed Satan to come in and tell that man to kill her kids and then kill himself. Now, you think she would have done that? You think she would have broken her oath if she knew her kids were in harm's way? And that's another reason why we need to see this. We need to actually see this and know the reason why that happened, that scenario happened, is because we went against the Most High. We made a vow to that person, and in conjunction, we made a vow with the Most High. Our iniquities, our sins go harder than our oppressors. Why? Because the oppressors do this all the time. Oppressors do this all the time, and they don't suffer the way we suffer because we made an oath with the Most High. Our forefathers made an oath with the Most High, made a covenant. We said we were going to be His people. He said He was going to be our God. He's going to be our power. If we break that, we die. Simple as that. And you know what? We've been breaking it 400 years, longer than that. You know what I'm saying? We've been breaking it longer than that. And because of that, we think we can do every goddamn thing the oppressor does and suffer no consequences. When the Most High says you are going to suffer for this. She didn't die, but her children died. I don't even want to imagine how it feels just to lose a child. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, that's tough in itself. But to lose a child because of your actions, man, like I said, there's some things worse than death. Something I'm willing to bet, I'm willing to wager, she would have gladly given up her life for her children. She would have gladly given up her life for her children. When she didn't have to give up her life for her children, all she had to do was keep her damn legs closed. And open them to her husband only. Only. But because we have wicked leaders who tell us, especially in the Christian church, who tell us if he's not on your level, if he's not getting to where you want to get to, fine, leave him. Find somebody else who would do that. And then they put them, the advice that these Christian pastors give our sisters is crazy. Absolutely crazy. When I say crazy, they'll actually tell them, tell your husband that if you won't do it, I'll find somebody else that will. Are you crazy? These are our wicked leaders. These are our wicked leaders. Like, I know I had you holding something. But drop that. Give me your scripture. Give me your scripture. Yeah, give me your scripture. Yeah. Wow. Because this is our oppressor has done a number on us. We don't even know how bad we are right now. Like, we honestly, we don't know. And honestly, and when I look at like all the things that is going on in Israel, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities, I'm like, man, when Christ comes back, I kind of pray that, you know, even though there's a whole lot of comfort, there's a whole lot of easeability, if that's a real word. There's a whole lot of things that are easy for us to do and accomplish because of technology. But man, I pray that technology is all of it is just, wiped away. Because if we actually look back and look at the things that we have done when we're actually in the kingdom, and we look back like, God damn, we did that. It's right there. We see the playback. We see the recording. Now we can look back and see, what the oppressors physically done to us, but the things that we're doing to ourselves. I saw a video in Chicago. These two people standing out in front of a house, and they looked like they were friends. They were together, not together, but they were, they were in that spot together. So they were acquainted with each other. So acquainted, you just turn their back on them, right? And nothing would happen. But in this video, in this video, the one brother got, they was looking around, whatever. One brother got behind the other brother, took out a pistol and shot him in the head, and walked away. I don't want to. I know a lot of this stuff is going to be written in the records so that we can learn from our past, from this captivity. But goddamn, actually watching this stuff, actually watching F and F video, you know what I'm saying? Having our sisters or watching these podcasts, watching these podcasts because they record them, video record them, but watching them and seeing how the brothers talk about the sisters or talk about themselves, and having the sisters talk about the brothers or talk about themselves, talk about each other. It's bad enough reading records about the account, but I have to actually look at that, man, it's going to be tough. It's tough to watch it now. It's tough to watch it now. All these, TikToks about, OnlyFans, really? I don't want none of that to be, accessible. Even if I do have to give up 2K. If I have to give up PS5 and PS30, it depends on when the Most High comes back, sends Christ back. PS35, you know what I'm saying? In order to give, I would give that up, just so I won't have to see us destroying each other. You know what I'm saying? You had something?
Yeah, sir. You know what I'm talking about when I say Apollo will have to be deleted.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
That's a reference for everybody that likes PlayStation.
Exactly. Let's get that scripture if you could, Baba Strong.
Come. Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
He said his watchmen are blind. Watchmen, slack it real quick. Watchmen is for the people who don't understand. Like I said, technology has taken over. Our watchmen has been, kind of automated and put, on like the perimeters, like security cameras. But there's someone who has to actually sit there and watch the cameras. Our watchmen. You got the definition?
Come. Out of the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, watchman, one who guards a city or the headquarters of an army.
One who guards the city or the headquarters of an army. So in our cities, we had people who was actually sitting on a post looking out for danger. Now, why in the blue hell would we actually put someone up there looking for danger when they can't see 2 feet in front of them? You're useless. Read that from the top, Baba Kashan.
Come. Verse 10. Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
Right.
They are all ignorant.
They don't know nothing. Keep going.
Come. They are all dumb dogs.
They are all dumb dogs. They blind. They can't see. They're stupid to a point where even if they do see it, they're not going to warn us about it because they're ignorant. They're dumb dogs. What is it? You have something?
Yeah, Slaughter, sir. If I may, dumb meaning mute. Got that from Officer Kazak.
Exactly. Well, what is it? What is a dog? Anybody walk by a house or apartment and you don't see anything, but you hear barking real loud. You ain't doing nothing. You just walking by, but that dog is alerting the owner, everybody in the house, that there's somebody, whether it's friendly or not, there's something on the other side of this door. There's something over there. That was their job. It wasn't just there to as companionship. What do they call them? Them service animals.
Emotional support dogs.
Emotional support dogs. Yeah, they weren't just there emotionally supporting mugs. They were there to warn you of danger, and in other instances, actually be protection, whether of you or your livestock, your property. They was there to protect you. They're saying that our leaders, and this is a description of our leaders, of our Martin Luther Kings, of our TD Snakes, of our Thefio Dollars, of our Jesse Jacksons, of all these wicked leaders. These is describing all of them right here, right now, right here in the scripture. They're saying that they can't see, and if they see, they're too stupid to act or to discern what a damn threat is. You have people. No, I'm not even going to say that. I saw this interview with Muhammad Ali saying, okay, there's 1,000 snakes at the door. The door is open. There's 10 snakes out there that won't bite me because all of them are poisonous. All of them are poisonous. There's 10 snakes out there that won't bite me, and don't want will just let me live. How am I to tell who are those 10 snakes, right? Are those 10 snakes going to hold off, make a wall around those other, 990 snakes? Are they? Probably not. Or should I trust those 10 snakes to keep everybody away from me? Or I can just close the goddamn door. I can just close the door. That watchman is not blind. That watchman is not dumb. That watchman is not ignorant. Just close the goddamn door. This is what Commander General Yahanna is telling us when he is Commander General Yahanna is not a dumb dog, because he's been warning us since he got a hold of the truth way back in the 80s. Right. Some of us hadn't even been born when he got the truth. You know what I'm saying? Some of us could barely talk or comprehend anything when Commander General Yahanna was learning the truth, was learning to wake his people up, was learning to bark when there was trouble on the other side of the door. Our leaders are wicked. They don't even know how to ring the alarm if the alarm is needed. And in this kingdom, our captivity, the alarm should never be stopped sounding until Christ comes back. That's the only time, we could just, all right, our Savior is here. He's going to take it away. Right. He's going to take it away. And then after that, we have some more work to do in actually building the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But this is a description of our leaders now. Dumb, just like the brother said, dumb doesn't mean stupid. Ignorant means stupid. It means you don't know anything. Dumb in this, what's that? Lack knowledge. Yes. You don't know what you don't know. There's nothing worse. I take that phrase. I'll use it as a liberty, but there's nothing worse than having a leader who doesn't know what he doesn't know, and he's so convicted in the things that he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like Thefio Dollar told you to give him money so he can buy $1 billion jet. No, it wasn't $1 billion jet. It was a couple $100 million. It was a lot of money. It was mills. He told you to pay your tithes so that you can buy him a jet. And if they find life on the moon or on Mars, you need to give him some more money so that he can buy a goddamn spaceship so he can go over there and teach the word of God. That's what he said. When I say convicted in something, he doesn't know what he doesn't know. He's headstrong about it. And then he goes back and says, I was wrong. You shouldn't have gave me all that money. I'm not going to give it back. Thank you for giving it to me, but you shouldn't have gave all that. You shouldn't have gave me all that money. He still doesn't know what he doesn't know. The scripture says, yes, you should pay tithes to the Most High's servants, which is not Theft Your Dollar, which is not TD Snakes, which is not Jesse Jackson. It's none of them. You need to pay your tithes, or Tebow will get you. Anybody seen that? You see the skit the brothers put on? The brothers up in Philly and Delaware?
I didn't see that one.
Man, that junk is hilarious. Not junk. That stuff is hilarious. They did a skit with about Friday and Captain Tazaiwan was Tebow. No, Tebow. Yeah. He was Tebow, and he came by looking for tithes. Like, what you got on my tithes, homie? You got something. Pay your tithes for Tebow come and see you. Pay your tithes to Commanding General Yahanna. He's the only one that the Most High has set his favor on. He put his name on the I.S.U.P.K. If you're paying tithes, you need to pay tithes to Commanding General Yahanna. If you don't give your tithes to Commanding General Yahanna, you have not paid tithes at all.
Right.
At all. He's the only one that is authorized to collect tithes. Where can you find this? Go to ISUPK.org. That's what, if you do not have a camp in your city, that's only number one. That's only temporary. Number two, you need to go to ISUPK.org and pay your tithes there. If you have a camp in your city, in your state, go to that camp and pay your tithes at that camp. It will get to Commanding General Yahanna. I.S.U.P.K. That's it. All right. Now, as I was saying, these wicked leaders are dumb dogs. Dumb dogs. If you could keep reading, Baba Kishar.
Sir. Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant.
They are all ignorant, right? Keep going. They don't know nothing.
They are all dumb dogs.
They're all dumb dogs. They don't warn you of the trouble that is at your damn doorstep, that is in your house, that is surrounding you. They don't warn you about that trouble. They don't warn you. A lot of times, right before I came into the truth, I would watch those First Amendment auditors. Those things were hilarious. It was very good entertainment to me. And then I found the truth, and then I learned of the dangers that those people put themselves in. They put themselves in harm's way. Most of them are oppressors. There's a few of them that's Israel, few and far between. But like I said earlier, we can't do what they do. You know what I'm saying? We cannot do the same things that they do and expect to get the same results. We can't do that. Philando Castile was following their rules, following their laws, did exactly what they told him to do, and he was executed in front of his wife and child. If I was in any other fake Israelite group, I would look at that and try and copy that and do that, and I wouldn't be here. I would not be here. Why? Because I cannot do the same things the oppressor does. Why? Because I am special. I am set apart. Nor should I want to do anything that they do. That's another thing. That's something that might go over some people's heads. I do not want to do the things that they want to do. Now I'm gonna look at it for entertainment purposes. I'm gonna look at it. So a lot of that stuff is funny. It's funny to me. But as Israel, you cannot go up to an entity that is solely designed for your destruction and then tell them what they can and can't do. They are going to take offense to that, and they are going to put you to death. But you know what? I would have known that had I not had, real leaders. If I not had men above me who would tell me, don't do that. Don't do that. You can look at it for entertainment purposes. It's just another Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not going out there, trying to find some stones so that I can snap my finger. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going out there trying to fly, get a jetpack and fly, or find some metal that stops bullets. When I say stop, just you could form it into a suit and do all kinds of funky stuff. I'm not. No, it's just entertainment. Just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is entertainment, so is those First Amendment auditors, or First Amendment auditors. Yeah, it's first. Yeah. Well, only thing that we should audit is ourselves, and audit ourselves according to this.
That's right.
If you don't know how to do that, you're in the right place, but a better place is to be physically in the room.
Right.
Physically in the room. Raising your hand, asking questions, getting in all black. So that you can then teach your family and teach your brothers and sisters around you. Right? Keep going if you could.
Come. They cannot bark. Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber.
Loving to slumber. They cannot bark. They cannot bark. So you ever heard a dog that lost his voice? That can't, they're barking, but they ain't barking. You ain't never. I've seen that. I've seen that before. The vocal cords is jacked up for one reason or another, and even if they can't, there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing there. That's what our oppressors put in charge of us. That's who they prop up. People who love to sleep, who can't bark. You think what's that midget's name? Slacker. The one that the gospel singer that got to beef with his son.
Kirk Franklin.
You think Kirk Franklin?
Gospel preacher and midget.
Yeah. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But you expect. Now don't get me wrong. Brothers who are not great in stature can still be giants in this work. You know what I'm saying? We have brothers who are not, as tall or as giant as Captain Zion and Officer Shumgar in the UK. But they're even mightier in spirit. You know what I'm saying? They're even greater in spirit. So it has nothing to do with your stature. It has absolutely nothing to do with your stature. That is just carnal. Right. I say that to disparage this sodomite. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I say that, because this bastard is a dumb dog. Right. He is a leader, and he's one of the false leaders in our community, and he leads us to destruction. But what I was saying is, just imagine, this bastard who has no teeth spiritually, you know what I'm saying? Who has no bark, going up to the oppressor, representing us and demanding something that we want. They're gonna laugh this nigga out the water. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna laugh, but then you take someone, like a mighty man like Captain Kaposh, and he's representing us. One of the Kentucky 8.
That's right.
And he's representing us. They're going to bow down and kiss his boot because he is who he is. So it has nothing to do with physical stature. It has everything to do with the work that you do according to the Most High. What Captain Kaposh does, his name is already written in the book. It's already written in books.
That's right.
What this sodomite does, I forgot his name just like that. Kirk Franklin. What this dude Kirk Franklin does. Cautionary tale. Do not do what he does. You know what I'm saying? Do not do what he does. Do not follow what he follows. Do not. It's just all bad. It's just all bad. And why would you want someone like that to be the representative of you? Why? Oh, take a man. No. He's a dumb dog. He knows nothing. He always lying down sleeping. Why? Because he's what you tired? What you tired for? You don't do no work. What you sleeping for? What you rested for? You do no work. You're not warning us of the perils that is all around us. Instead, you think of ways to invite them into our kingdom. Invite them into our way of life. And bow down to them, and then like a true house nigga, try and check us for not accepting them for who they are. That's exactly what they do. They tell us, hey, you need to accept them for whatever. These bastards, they're going to be held accountable for all the things that they've done. You got some more?
Yeah, Counselor, if I may.
Yeah.
Sloppy, sir. I'm not trying to teach class. I just want to say something, if I may, if this is correct.
Go ahead.
With the part saying they cannot bark. See, that word cannot, I would say that's important, because if they had the ability to bark, they would, but they cannot. They do not have the ability to bark because they were ignorant in the first place. Their ignorance coming from the lack of knowledge of this Bible, which they got the lack of knowledge of this Bible, what they were taught from their oppressor. And I have a precept, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So, like these religious leaders, they have envied the oppressor and chose those ways, which caused them to be ignorant and not follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible exactly how it is. So that's how they cannot bark, because they weren't taught correctly. And the sleeping, that's, like sleeping on the block. They're unaware of the dangers that surround them because they weren't taught correctly, because they were envying the oppressor. And lying down, like that, they're comfortable with what the oppressor gave them, and loving to slumber is them, reaping the benefits of being the oppressor's slave.
I would say, yeah, most of that, yeah, I would say that's fairly accurate. For the part where you say they cannot bark, that has more along the lines of they submit to the oppressor. When I say they submit to the oppressor, and in regards to they cannot bark, I would say it would be like those backdoor dealings. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna get you, $50,000, but you're gonna have to shut these niggas up. I'm gonna get you funding for whatever project you have, but you're gonna have to get them in order. You're gonna have to get them to stop protesting. You're gonna have to get them to stop asking for affordable housing. You're gonna have to get them to stop asking for lighter jail sentences for drug addiction. You're gonna have to get them to stop saying that abortions are bad, and to get them to say we want more Planned Parenthoods. So when they say they cannot bark, if they do bark, they're gonna lose all the dealings that they had before. You understand what I'm saying? So think more along the line. Like, I mean, all this is written in, it's written for time, but it's still written. A nigga still wrote it. Right. Just like you were saying, he's sleeping. He's not physically sleeping. Even though when you see dumb dogs who's not keeping up on their duties, they're like physically laying there sleeping. Right. But the way we talk, the way we use it, is you ain't on your job. Right. You slipping. You're really slack in your duties and expectations of how you should proceed. That's exactly what they do. They're not up on the dealings of our oppressor and how the way they deal with us. Just like this act, this SAFE-T Act. When they say it's supposed to be get into that, but this goes into our oppressors. Our leaders are dumb dogs. Our leaders, when we choose our leaders, we die. The SAFE-T Act, the opposition. What was that devil's name? That mayor. His name was Mayor Keith Pacal. Yeah, he's saying that because the SAFE-T Act in Illinois does away with the bail for a lot of offenses, and if you look into it'll actually run down a list of the offenses, like including second-degree murder and kidnapping and whatnot. But a bail is really meant for us. When I say us, Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people, it's really meant for us. They're saying according to U.S. law, you are innocent until proven guilty. So why should you be in jail until you actually proven to be guilty, right? The bail system is saying we don't know if you're innocent or guilty, but if you want to get out of jail, you're gonna have to pay us. That's what the bail system is. We don't know if you're innocent or guilty. The trial will prove that, whether you're innocent or guilty. But until that time, you're gonna have to stay in jail. You got $10,000? All right, I'll let you out, but you're gonna have to come back. Niggas don't have $10,000. Just lying around. You're gonna have to ask Big Mama. You're gonna have to take up a collection. You're gonna have a fish fry. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to put together some sort of community event to raise the money so that you can get you out of jail for a crime that you did not commit, a la Khalif Browder. You all remember that, right? The brother was accused of stealing a backpack. He had I want to say the amount of money was minimal. It was less. It was definitely less than $10,000 that they had to come up with for bail. It was definitely less than $10,000. It was only, I want to say, maybe a few $100s to maybe $2,000. $3,000. Okay. He needed $3,000 bail. That was the cash that he needed, or was that 3%, 10%? So it was $300.
Sorry, sir. It's $3,000, but all that was needed was $900.
So he needed $900 to get out of jail. He didn't have $900. His family did not have $900. And what was messed up? I mean, his whole system was messed up. I can just go into a whole class on this. That whole scenario was totally jacked up. His father his mother went to his father and said, "Hey, we need to get him out. He didn't do this. He didn't do this." His father supposed to. He didn't know no better. I gotta say that, but what he did was absolutely wicked, and the things that followed is still absolutely wicked. He's going to have account for this. He's going to have to account for his role in the death of his son. He's going to have account. His mother went to his father. His father said, he was a hardhead. He was a gang affiliated, so you need to keep him in jail. And the reason why he said that, prior to that, he had stolen like an ice cream truck, and him and his friends went joyriding. He got arrested for that. He was on probation for that. When he went to jail for allegedly stealing a backpack, which he did not do, it was not him. He got put in jail. When he was up for bail, he didn't have the money, so they sent him back. When they finally got the money, they said, "Oh wait, he's in violation of his parole, so now you can't have bail." You know what I'm saying? And then he stayed in jail for 3 years. Yeah. According to the Constitution, you have a right to a speedy trial. You have a right to a speedy trial. They totally jacked up his case. When I say they totally jacked up his case, they didn't get a witness report. The witness that they had, the accuser, he gave a description that was not his description. Right? The cop then went and wrangled up somebody who was just in the area during that time. They went and got him. They locked him up. When every time they were supposed to go to trial, every time they were supposed to go before the judge, they didn't have the witness. They did not have the witness. And because they do this to us so often and so frequent, once they say, okay, you have X amount of time to come back and present the facts of the case, let's just say, you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. Go and get the facts and bring it back to us. Now you take it out of that queue and you put it in the back of the queue. Well, that queue is 3-4 months long. So that 2 weeks really turn into 3-4 months long until the backlog is clear. Now you're up here again. Now they say, well, we still need some more information. Boom, take you out and put you back all the way in the back. And that's how he went from accused of stealing a backpack to spending 3 years in jail. 3 years in jail. And the judges that came before him seen him numerous times and didn't put 2 and 2 together. And you know what? The judges look like him. The judges look like him, which goes to show you that that even though you're in a position of power, if you do not have the righteous leadership that the Most High has taught us, we can actually examine the facts. Well, what's going on? What was he accused of stealing? Was he accused of a backpack? Who was the accuser? You could have got to the bottom of that right then and there. How much was the backpack worth? About $37. Okay, well, he spent 6 months in jail. I think 6 months in jail is worth more than $37. Let him go on his own recognizance. Let him go. Let him go. The brother was in solitary confinement for something like a year. Something like a year. Unfortunately, the brother went crazy. The brother went out of his mind. So much so that he says in order for him to try and keep his sanity, when he was in jail, he would talk to himself, have conversations. It stuck with him so much that when he was out and he was like riding on trains, he would go back into that survival mode, and then he would realize he's like actually talking to himself. We all talk to ourselves. We all answer ourselves, but we do that in our head. But this dude was actually doing it out loud to try and keep his sanity. When he realized he's on a train, and then he's looking around, and oh man, people are actually looking at him. And realizing that he's talking to himself, people like vacated his area. He's like, oh, damn, man. But long story come to short, he couldn't take it anymore. He hung himself. He killed himself because someone accused him of stealing a backpack, and no one did their due diligence to find out whether that was true or not, and stuck him in solitary confinement and they said it was his
700 days.
700 days. That's 2 years, damn near 2 years. So he and the reason why they did that was, again, that's a whole nother story. He was living in hell. He was living in hell. He was getting beat up by the inmates because he refused to get with their program because he was innocent. He didn't belong there. They didn't believe that. They didn't care. And once he got put into the solitary confinement for his own safety, he was being beat up again by the people who was there to look after him. Drove the man crazy. Drove him crazy to a point where he didn't want to be here anymore. And this devil, this bastard from Orland Park, this Macau, this Keith Pacal, is saying that system is right. It is infringing on the oppressor's constitutional rights to keep us locked up. So because they're doing away with that, and according to the Constitution, that's illegal. According to the Constitution, the bail system is illegal. But he's saying, according to the Constitution, letting people out who is not proven guilty by the way, who is not proven guilty is infringing on everybody else's constitutional rights. He is a goddamn devil. He is in power because we have wicked leaders like Martin Luther King. We have wicked leaders like the Christian churches, who is nothing but pimps in the pulpits, and we listen to them so that these bastards can be put in the power to oppress us, and do it so, quote unquote, legally. They'll put something in writing and say that, hey, well, we had this meeting. You voted us to create laws. Well, we created this law saying that even if you're not guilty, we're going to put you in jail until we find you guilty. You think Commander General Yahanna would do anything like that? Hell no. You think any of the generals or the captains under him or any of the officers under him will do anything like that? Hell no. I didn't choose Commander General Yahanna to be my leader. The Most High did. I follow the Most High, and the Most High says Christ is my king, and everyone that the Most High ordained to be over me, I follow them. Right. Why? Because there is an order that the Most High has given us, and we follow order. We follow order, and we follow orders. There is a difference. Lock and rank. You understand? Our oppressor does not follow any of that. They do whatever the hell they want to do whenever they want to do it. And because of that, there's chaos in the world. But because I follow men that are better than me, that have proven to be better than me, I can become like them. And they become like Christ. Christ has become like the Most High. Because without the men that was above me being over me, I was absolutely nothing. As much as I thought I have accomplished, as much as I thought that I could have that I have gotten done, or that I could get done, none of that would have mattered. None of that does matter. Everything that I do in the school matters. That's it. That's all of it. You have anything? Any last word before I close out? Oh,
kind of concert. I would like to read Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So just like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Exactly. Just our enemy has always been our enemy. The Most High called them our enemy since the beginning. Who are we to say that they are not? Yeah. And with that, I pass the class to Priest and Officer Pagagua. Come on up here.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming Holy Convocation is the memorial of the blowing of trumpets. That's Sunday, September 25th, 2022. Remind Akim and Akwakian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, and a scarf. And with that, I say Ahmadian, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Ahmadian Shabbat, Ahmadian, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yadim Matah, class dismissed.